Hello and welcome to the Kitchen Knitter podcast. I'm Suzanne, the Kitchen Knitter, and I live in the northwest of England with my husband. And today is Friday, the 4th of April. And this is a little space on YouTube where I show you what's on my needles. And I have a couple of finished objects. You've seen them before. I just happened to have finished them. These are just a plain vanilla sock. I use the Winnick Mums pattern, slip stitch, heel and gusset, and I knit on 9-inch circulars. So this yarn is from Sherry Iris, and it is the Little Book Club series, and this colourway is Wuthering Heights with a very heathery blue on the top there. I think it would have looked nice if I'd done it on the bottom as well, but I always worry about running out of yarn. So they're finished and blocked and ready to be used. So that's that one. And then I've recently finished these socks. I have two, proof were needed, two. And these are the Portsea socks from the Wool Barn, a pattern and the wool. It came as a kit. So this colour here is Midnight, and this colourway is Sand, and I think the base was Cashmere Sock. I haven't got the ball bands anymore, so just again, it seemed to have gone a bit peculiar there. I don't quite know why, but that's I always managed to get that little hole there. So I finally finished these, and it's not colour work, this is a slip stitch, and you're just knitting I'm not sure, is that mosaic knitting? I'm not sure, I don't think so, I'm not that clever. It's, so that's nice. This is, it does say Midnight and Sand, and so those are the Portsea socks. So because I've finished two pairs of socks, I've cast on another pair. And these are, I haven't got very far with them because, as you can see, it's quite a dark yarn. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. I'll show it to you on it's a beautiful yarn from John Arbon. And this is, oh no, I've got the ball band for this because I'm not sure I'm going to pronounce the colourway. This was a collaboration with Nervous Fibres. They had the yarn, she dyed the yarn, and it is called Veld, but it's spelt V-A-E-L-D, so I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that correctly. Is it focusing? Yeah. And Nervous Fibres, and it is the most beautiful colours. And this was I'm a mill member of John Arbon, and this was a members exclusive. It flew off the shelves. It was sold very quickly, and the pattern I'm doing is the one that was Donna, who works at the mill. She knitted up a pair of socks, and she knitted up the Roger socks, and you can see the pattern. And this is a pattern by Knitspot, Anne Hanson. Knitspot, Anne Hanson. And Donna recommended this pattern as being perfect for the variegated colours in this yarn. So as I said, I've only just started. I cast on last night, but I wasn't sitting in a very good light, and it is quite dark, and it's a 2x2 rib, and I'm working on, I'm using, I should say, the call for, which is 2.5, yeah, 2.5 needles. I usually use 2.25, but because there's a bit of a pattern, I maybe need the bit. I don't know. I'm going with the pattern all the way, as I usually do. I never think for myself. So I've just started that one, and the makeup of the yarn it's Exmoor sock. Yes, hand dyed in Glasgow, Nervous Fibres, and it's fingering. Exmoor sock is the base. So it's not super soft. There's a bit of, oh, it's not toothy, but there's a bit of substance to it. It's not as soft as the others that I've knitted. The cashmere sock, gorgeous. So that's a sock sitting in my redesigned little sock bag. Yeah, so that's a new cast on. The other thing I've been doing is my, oh, you'll be sick of the sight of it. I say this every time. You'll be sick of the sight of it. I am now going down a sleeve. I am now going down a sleeve on my tress. Whoops, all tangled up here. On my tress jumper. What is going on? And I sort of pick it up and put it down as and when. So, and I'm using 9-inch circulars to do the sleeves, which has got all the stitches bunched up. But I can't do DPNs, or I haven't got the patience for magic loop. These are my fun little needle stoppers from Beautiful Knitters, Avocados. And I'm just going to take my time with this because I'm not sure I like it. I'm not sure I'm going to wear it. We've had a spell of wonderful weather this last week and a little bit over the weekend, and it's quite warm. So I mean, I'm sleeveless, and it's going to last until at least a week on Sunday, that's when the rain comes in. So, and knitting this on a sort of a warm day, when I'm thinking about all the things I could be knitting that I could wear now, but I have taken far too long to knit this. I probably started it about a year ago. I'll show you the pattern there. And I then put it away because the weather started to get too warm, and I picked it up again, but I don't know, having all this on my lap. But yeah, I mean, there's no reason why I shouldn't finish it. I mean, I've only got to go down the sleeves. I mean, I've done more than I've got to do, so to abandon it really would be a bit silly. And it's knitted on, the pattern is the Tress by Isabel Kramer. I've got my very well thumbed and battered pattern scribbled all over. There we go. It is a paid for pattern, so I've got to be careful. But it's that one, you see. And it's lovely. And it looks lovely on Isabel. She's very slim. But I think it's going to make me look a bit teddy bearish. Anyway, I'm going to carry on because the yarn is gorgeous, and it's the yarn that was on the pattern, which is Vichy Bouche, lamb's wool and mohair in soft green, and it is the most beautiful green. I've done a few. I seem to be on a green theme at the moment. I've done a few things lately on the green. So this will be done. I'm not going to show it to you again until it is absolutely finished. Absolutely finished now. So that's a promise. And yeah, if I just sort of chip away at it a little bit every day, I think, right, I'll sit down and do half an hour, which is some of, listening to other podcasters, this is what they do, just on a project, chip away at it. So that's the other thing I am knitting, and it's taking a bit of time because, again, there was a few false starts, and again, I'm not sure I like it. Anyway, I am knitting, it's a Kim Hargreaves pattern, and it is called Prairie. I'm just trying to, my marker has fallen out of the book. There it is. So, I'll show you the big picture because I shouldn't really show you the pattern, should I? There we are. And it's this one. And I think that's really lovely. And there's a bit of a close-up there. And it's in this book, Wilder, and it's by Kim Hargreaves. And I absolutely love Kim Hargreaves patterns. I love her style and lovely. But she's retired now, so she's not doing them anymore. So I have started, and I've got a couple of false starts because as I was knitting it, I thought, I'm not sure this looks right. So I'm going to show you the right side, and that's, it's one of those patterns where you cast on hundreds of stitches and then cast them all off again, so you get that nice little loopy effect. Is that one of my hair gets everywhere? And so I've done this band here. See, I just don't think it looks the same. I've done that band there, and I'm now starting to I'm doing the back and doing it. It's done in pieces. It's a back, a front, and 2 sleeves, and it is knitted in Rowan. Again, it's the call for it. Is that the right thing to say? The call for yarn. It's the yarn in the pattern used, and it's hand knit cotton, and it is, the colourway is linen, which looks more grey in that photograph than here. It's a proper linen colour, isn't it? And this it's shade number RW205, because they don't put the colourways on the ball band, but it is linen and hand knit cotton. So it's 100% cotton, Egyptian cotton. So it's quite sort of substantial. It's not fine, but I've started where the stitch markers are in there. That is the pattern, and you're supposed to mine don't look a left and a right twisted stitch, and mine don't look right. They just don't look the same. Maybe once it's blocked, it might kind of. But I'm looking at it thinking, I don't think this is right. I am very self-critical, so I don't know. I don't know whether I'm going to. You see, that's supposed to be a left and a right, a left and a right. Now I can see one twist, but there's another twist in there, but it seems to have disappeared. It seems to have, I don't know. But if you look at the pattern, there's a definite, where are we? There, just before there, can you see there's it's a definite sort of stitch going one way and the other going the other way. And mine doesn't seem to look like that. And I've had so many goes at this. I've got all the yarn as well, so, but see, I've got this that I haven't. I've got one there that I haven't unpicked, and then I've got this bit here as well that I've not unpicked. It's all a bit messy because I've just thought, ooh, and I've just bunged it back in the bag. I will address it at some point because I think I'll need the yarn to finish the jumper if we ever get to that. If we ever get to that stage, and I haven't just thrust it in a bag and stuffed it in a cupboard. I don't know, and or do something else with the yarn because I'm not sure I like it. I don't know. It's not as fine as I quite like things to be. I don't know, but I do like that. I do like that pattern. I think it's so pretty. It's lovely, and yeah, this book goes back to, I don't know if there's a date of publication. Oh, I can't see. Oh, 2016. First published in 2016, so it's not too old. That's the trouble with going back on old Kim Hargreaves patterns. She always uses Rowan yarn, and I think sometimes she used Debbie Bliss, but always used Rowan yarns, and of course some of these yarns aren't available anymore. However, so that's something that I keep bringing out and then putting back again. I've not got very far. I've done more unpicking than knitting with that one. And the other one I've started is a cardigan, and it's in this. I'm sort of sharing projects in my redesigned project bag. I think that's project bag number 10. I don't think I could close it, but it sort of sits on the floor nicely. I don't tend to take it out with me. I am knitting a cardigan, and I saw this in this. Oops, there we go. It's in this magazine, The Knitter, and it is issue. It's not the most recent one. It's issue 211, and I buy this now and again because I've never really wanted to knit anything in this. They're either far too complicated or a bit matronly. I'm probably being very unkind, but they're not for me anyway. So I'm knitting this, and it's a little cropped cardigan, which I think would sit nicely with all the dresses I wear, the Hattie and Hetty, whichever one I do. But I just like the shape, and it's sort of a little vintage vibe as well. So it's a pattern by Sarah Hatton, and it's called The Hayworth, and I think it's been published elsewhere, because it says up here from the archives. Now whether it's been published in this magazine before or it's from another publication, I don't know. And the call for yarn, I'm saying that call for word again, is it's Rowan, and it is Rowan Kid Classic. And I do that. If I ever make my own mind up about a yarn, you know, and I think, oh, I'll knit this. I'm never quite happy with it. I'm not happy with it. So I tend to use the yarn that the pattern states. And this is colourway. You see that? And it's the same colourway. I've used Clover, but that and that are quite different, aren't they? And I rather like that colour. So when this came, I ordered it from Rowan, and when it came, I thought, oh, but I do like it. And I put up a sewing podcast a couple of weeks ago, because I don't know, but I think the algorithm, because I call myself the kitchen knitter, I think it just, I don't know, but since not talking about sewing on this, or showing what I've been sewing on this podcast, I seem to have had more subscribers, because I think YouTube are putting it out more to knitters. I mean, to be honest, I sound like I know what I'm talking about, and I don't, but it's my little theory. So, but anyway, I put up this, and I had this dress, and I called it my Julie Andrews moment, because it's a gorgeous fabric I bought from Cool Crafting, a floral fabric, but I just felt a bit mumsy in it. And one of the comments, she wasn't saying it was matronly, but that's the word she used, and that was the word I was looking for, matronly. And there was a lot of suggestions as to knit a little cardigan to wear with it, to break the pattern up. And I thought, because I was going to take it apart and make a skirt with it, and I thought that's a good, or a slip over. Someone also suggested a slip over. So just to break it up, because it does look as if I've made a dress out of the sitting room curtains. It's very chintzy. Oh, it's gorgeous, but it's a bit chintzy. And I thought, what a good idea. Now I think this will go with it. And it's not an Ellis or Hattie dress. I made it from a Tilly and the Buttons pattern, but it's a similar sort of style. So you've got that high gathered bit there, and this would sit on that. And I thought I might feel more comfortable about it if I do that. So I'll show you my progress. Again, it's knitted in pieces. So I've done a back. You see, it is quite cropped. So it's just a plain back. It's quite a long armhole, but a short piece. So it knits it pretty quickly, and a 2x2 rib. There, can you see that? Yeah. And so I've done that bit, and I'm now doing a front, because I thought the easiest thing to do would be to do back and front, and then I can hold it up and show rather than in pieces, but I'm not there yet. But I'll show you. Again, I've got my little fun. These are from Beautiful Knitter too, my watermelons. Oh, the needle stoppers I had on here, on this, are from Jules Sew Suit Violet, who has unfortunately shut her shop now, but that's where I got them from. They're donuts. So, and this is the left front, and you do a bit of a pattern at the side. I don't know what's happened there, but you do a bit of a pattern up the side, and you will then, so I'm doing this bit up here, then you increase, I think, for the like a shawl neckline, and there's one button there. And I've bought a button from Tangled Yarn, which is exactly like that, and a perfect match. So I've got to finish this jumper, this cardigan. So I haven't done anything on this for a couple of nights, but yeah. So I think I definitely will finish this, definitely. Because it will work with what I've got. I think it'll work with a couple of other dresses I've got as well, but particularly that one, because at the moment I'm not wearing it. I wore it once and I didn't feel comfortable in it at all. Felt a bit matronly. It's a good word, that, matronly. So that is, and you knit it on I think it's 4mm needles. You start off, yes, you start off on 4, and then you're knitting the body part in 4.5. So it is quite a quick knit. And that is in the Knitter magazine, issue 211. They don't put a month on. I think it's I think I bought this in February. I can't remember now, but it's issue 211. I don't think I'd knit anything else that was in this magazine. There's a little article about Margaret Rutherford, Miss Marple and her knitting, but I'm not sure I'd knit. So there's the cardigan. I'm not sure I'd knit anything else. I mean, you get a good selection of things. You would get your accessories and jumpers and things, but they don't always appeal to me. So that's what I'm knitting there. So that's another project. And the other thing that's on my needles, which to be honest I've been paying a lot of attention to, is this cardigan. Again, it's a Kim Hargreaves pattern in the book Cherished, and I just wanted a very plain little cardigan just to pop on. So it's called Fawn. There it is, in there, and it is a perfectly, oops, let me just, a perfectly plain cardigan, and it's knitted in, the pattern is Rowan cashmere. But I went up to Tangled Yarn and I bought Cardiff cashmere. And I did a quick check, and I've got the tension right, so it should be fine. But it is the most beautiful yarn, and this was a splurge. This is why I can't give up work. So I've knitted. So it is perfectly plain, and a very pretty colour. Perfectly plain. I'm now. And it's a kind of a cropped cardigan, where it's you do a little bit of an increase after the rib on the side there, and then you knit up. And I've started to decrease the armholes now, and it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And you knit them on three. The rib is 3mm needles, and this is 3 1/4. Again, I've got my little donuts on needle stoppers. Now it's 100% cashmere. It's made in Italy, and this is colourway 509, which I believe is string, but I'm not sure. But it's colourway 509, and it's gorgeous. And I needed 10 balls, and when it came in there, I went to collect it, and it comes in a box, like a shoebox, and all wrapped in tissue paper, and you get a little label as well. And it's beautiful, and this is a proper splurge and a proper treat. And I definitely will be finishing this. It's got quite a deep rib, so it is in Kim Hargreaves' book in Cherished. And this was issued in, let's see if I can, because it's terribly small print. (2010). It was first published in 2010. So again, you see, I mean, I think Rowan is still doing a cashmere yarn, but some of the other things like this. No, not this one. There's a couple of jacket type things. I've knitted that, and in felted tweed, I've knitted that one. I'm not sure if I've ever worn it for the podcast. I knitted that. That was lovely, and that is in felted tweed. But I just absolutely love the style. There's a couple of others I'd like to knit. I like that one too. You can see it a bit better there. That's felted tweed, which is still, I think it's one of their best sellers. But a couple of the other things like Cocoon, and I think this one is knitted in big wool. But I do like it. I wouldn't put the epaulets on, but I do like it as a jacket. I've not used big wool for a while. It's because you use such big needles, it's clumsy. But I think that's the one on the front there. But there's some really nice designs in here. And so that's that. So I've been again, because it's plain knitting and I can pick it up and put it down, but to be honest, it's the feel. It's gorgeous. But I can take this to my knitting group because I can see what I'm knitting. I very much doubt I could get, because we knit now in the pub. The shop has closed. The chap who owned it has retired, so we go to a pub in Marple, and it's quite a dark, as pubs are really, subdued lighting. But I take my my little boob lights, and they work if need to. And now we've got the lighter nights, though it's a bit better. But I doubt very much I'd take this to the pub, because I wouldn't be able to see what I was doing. Well, that's it. That's all that I've been knitting. I've been doing a bit of sewing, but that's for a different time. I don't have any knitting plans. I want to get these finished, and then do some other ones. There's a couple of designs in this book that I would like to use. I've got my post-its that I would like to do. I just love the design, and I don't mind piecing. I don't mind sewing things up. I find it quite meditative. I don't mind it at all. I mean, sometimes when I'm knitting in the round and I've got all these stitches on the needle, I think, oh, I wish it was in pieces. And now sometimes though, when I'm knitting this, I think, oh, I've got to sew it up. But in fairness, I do not mind sewing things up. And I do it as I finish things. As I go along. So I just thought I would come on and show you what I've been doing. There's a little bit of me thinks I've forgotten to show you something, and I'm not sure what that is. I can't think what it is. I've not made it apart because I've made this purchase, this splurge. I haven't bought much yarn, but we'll see. I was looking for something and through my stash, and I have forgotten what I've got in there. So I need to start using it. But we all say that, don't we? Need to start using it. Yeah. But sometimes I've got a few skeins where I just like looking at them, just stroking them. So I will leave it there, and hopefully I'll come back in a couple of weeks. Because if I intermit, is that the right word? With my sewing, and then I do my knitting, I should come on a little more regularly. I do get concerned about the amount of content and things like that, but I have watched podcasts where, you know, we're seeing the same things, and we're just seeing the progress, and it's lovely, and it seems to be a popular thing. It seems. Oh, I've rambled on here, and yes, so I will hopefully see you in a fortnight. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for subscribing and liking, and all your lovely comments. I need to check back on the comments because I don't think I've answered them all, which is very remiss of me, and I will address that. So I will, but I do read the comments, I do, and they're all very, very lovely and very kind and very complimentary, and it's lovely. Thank you so much.